episode of A Legion on Zoom.
Yes.
You know what's crazy about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness? And I don't know if this shit was on purpose, but it was just pretty deep how it dropped on Mother's Day weekend. And more than anything, this whole movie is a story of motherhood, which is crazy.
About don't fuck with your moms, man. Like give mom a hug before she goes fucking back.
That's epic.
Crazy.
That your takeaway was motherhood. I don't know how the fuck.
Nah, bro, think about it. Dude, it's about her absolute mad drive to be a mother. Like, she even says it. She's driven insane, which by the way, about how accurate to the comic books is that with her kids, because I know that shit is kind of layered. Like, in this movie, she's driven to madness, basically, because she's the only version in the multiverse that doesn't have the kids.
Word.
And by she, we're discussing Scarlet Witch in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Yes!
We are the Legion on Zoom.
Facts.
What's happening?
Yo, what's up, everybody? Exactly. We got everybody here. This is Miguel, obviously, and we got Rod and Ches. All right, because we've been waiting for this movie to drop. We've been avoiding spoilers, man. More spoilers were dropped, man. Shit.
We haven't even talked to each other about it at all.
Exactly.
Like, at all. Like, I was almost surprised at how much we didn't discuss the movie. We were all saving it for you guys. Everything we're about to spew is fresh.
Hell yeah. Lots to spew.
Lots to spew.
That seemed very appropriate to me that it dropped on Mother's Day weekend, and it's a story of, like I said, just how bad one that wants to be a mother ultimately, you know? I just thought I'd start on that deep ass note.
Yo, that is a deep note. And she did repeat that a lot, actually, right? She said often, more than once, about like, I'm not a monster, I'm a mother. And okay, like, Wanda, we get it, but you are crazy right now. Like, you're killing people.
And a monster. You are, in fact,
you're
a monster.
Both. Exactly, right? Yeah.
Like, no. Like, even more, like, you are a actual prophesized monster of legend. Like, you're a literal monster of lore. Like, there's lore about you.
Like when they go to Mount Wuntagar, it's like there's a statue of you with monsters. Like, you're a monster.
And in the event that you are a newcomer, a big ass spoiler alert right here, because we're gonna go into all the spoilers. Because I stayed off of Instagram for a week just because of this shit. I did not want to get any spoilers, and thank God, because this movie is amazing.
Yo, I just used our social media account, the Legion on Zoom account. Everybody should follow us at Legion on Zoom on fucking Instagram, Twitter as well, Facebook too. Actually, right? I think we
everywhere.
We're active on Instagram, but things get shared everywhere else, right? But like, exactly, all I would do, because I logged in basically once a day to post something so we could be active, and then whenever we would log in, I would cover the phone so I don't see what was up there, and then I would just go to the post button, and then I'm like, nah. Although I trust a lot of people that we follow, I've removed a lot of people who've spoiled shit in the past. So fuck all you guys.
Damn.
But the people we have now, I think they've been vetted. That they're like, nobody's gonna motherfucking spoil.
I want to say, by the amount of spoilers I did not encounter. I wanted them to be a part of me. I wanted to know things before I went in there, and I went in there totally surprised, and I was sadly disappointed.
Right, because
I hate it.
If you're joining us also too, if you haven't been listening to us for a while, what's wrong with you? You're missing a backtrack and check everything else out in the past. But yes, Ches has a superpower, and his superpower is he doesn't get spoiled. Like, he can watch a spoiler and still be he's immune to it. It's incredible.
Yeah. He's impervious to spoilers.
It will, in fact, increase my enthusiasm to consume whatever project that spoilers from.
Opposite.
Because
I can see like a man beating an old woman. I'd be like, hey, wait. What she did though? What's going on? But if I see like that same man spoiling like a movie to that old lady, I'd be, yo, what the fuck, dude? How do you know she's not gonna go see Multiverse of Madness?
Stopping him immediately. Yo, what are you doing?
and then proceeding to fight him in Gates.
Yeah. All right, so let's dive in, guys. Let's fucking dive.
Yeah, let's go in.
Yo.
So my original question, okay, so how accurate is the whole relationship to her kids in the MCU as it is to the comics? Because, like, so from what I know, her kids were just created in her breakdown during the WandaVision show, right?
Right.
That's when her kids first popped up.
Exactly. I think that's a good thing to set up for people, right? If you haven't seen the movie, you obviously need to watch WandaVision because this is like literally a sequel to WandaVision. This is the thing that connects the most to any of the Disney Plus shows so far, right? Where it literally just kind of picks up to that because Wanda developed kids, created her own kids, and her, with the grief after Vision dying and all that shit. But then they eventually have to disappear because she fucking created them with magic. Right. So in the comic book, it was something like that, too, where she did create kids through magic when she was married to Vision. And eventually later, when she realized that was the case, I don't remember exactly all the details right off the top of my head, but then they also had to kind of die. Like they had to disappear because they were just made out of magic, which then I don't remember. I think it was Agatha Harkness, or I don't remember who helped that made her forget. Like you never went through this, like forget it, but something kind of lingered, and then eventually down the road she remembers that she had kids, and that actually drives her insane for her. Then that leads to the Avengers Disassembled event where she kind of fucking killed a bunch of Avengers. She lost her powers were going crazy, and then which then eventually led to the Ultimate House of M event, where like the Avengers and the X-Men kind of got together. They're thinking that they had to kind of kill Wanda or do something, and Magneto, which is at the time the father of Wanda, was protecting her. And then right before they confronted them, Wanda creates this whole universe where mutants are on top, and she fucking warped the whole reality. But then at the end of that, made mutants basically disappear, like the infamous line of "No more mutants." And so it kind of leads to all of that, like where, because in this movie, she was super fucking, like she went super villain. Like she was a super villain in this movie, I felt because she's killing people left and right. Like we'll talk about the Illuminati, like how she did them bad. And but in the comic book, she never went full super villain per se. Like other than, she started as a villain because she was a part of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants originally with Magneto.
And a great jumping on point that you mentioned was Avengers Disassembled by Brian Michael Bendis and Brian Finch, right? Yeah, that's a great jumping on point if you want like some comic book context to this movie, because I felt like she did go batshit in that storyline and destroy multiple Avengers. And that's kind of like what she does. This movie serves as almost an adaptation of Avengers Disassembled and the Illuminati, which I thought was cool, and a sequel to Doctor Strange, the first one. Right. And a proper introduction to the multiverse, which is fucking crazy. And we get a brand new character in America Chavez, in the MCU, I mean.
Right.
A few new characters.
Yeah, but and then she's like, it's funny because this movie kind of just jumps from scene to scene. There's not the plot is not all that cohesive or doesn't make a lot of sense at times, but I didn't give a fuck because it is just so awesome scene after awesome scene. And then to make like a former Avenger the villain of the movie, so many cool things to jump into with this shit.
Quick side note, just the way that what's her name is which Olsen sister is this? Caitlin Olsen? No. Caitlin Olsen is
Elizabeth
in Philadelphia. Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah.
So it was with Elizabeth Olsen's acting, which was very good, mind you. I actually enjoyed how creepy she was. Like I was shocked at how ranged she was, from like sad to insane to like anxious. Like it was wild. It was hard not to see how inspired by Maleficent. I think to me, her the Scarlet Witch was, you know what I mean? She's like that top tier of like evil. Like now see like that they're owned by Disney, I sensed a little bit of like inspiration by Maleficent.
I also saw like shades of Magneto in there too in certain
Word
moments.
facts. That too.
So that's been retconned, right? In the comics, like she's no longer Wanda Maximoff is no longer Magneto's daughter.
Yes,
really?
Yeah. So in the comic books, neither her or Quicksilver are biologically Magneto's parents, but in a recent X-Men run, Magneto and Wanda had a heart-to-heart where Magneto was like, "I don't care. Like I raised you. I treated you as my daughter. I still think you're my daughter." And so, which is like, okay, biologically, because she's not a mutant in the comic book. Neither is Quicksilver technically. Stupid retcons.
What the fuck? What is like a Terrigen Mist or
no? The high evolutionary fucked with them.
What the fuck?
Which is kind of like what happened in the MCU, right? Because in the MCU, it was the Hydra fucking with them with the fucking one of the Infinity Gems. I don't remember which one. So it's like, all right, to try to match.
Yeah, like her like her origin. The origin of her powers is a little weird in the MCU. Like it's a little odd. Like it comes like it was activated through Hydra projects. That's what you just said, basically, right?
Right. Yeah. But then WandaVision showed us that she maybe had some access to some powers as a kid, right? So it's like unclear. So we'll see what happens with that. Because apparently there are rumors that they may make a Scarlet Witch movie or something. So there may still be something in the books there. So we'll see. But actually, let's dive into that. I want to start talking about that, and I will say, like, I'll preface it because I think we can get the theme already. Like, we all enjoyed it. We had fun. I had fun with it. I didn't love the movie though.
Shit! I can't wait to hear it.
A lot of it is Sam Raimi, and you said it right now, Rod. You said like the plot didn't make sense sometimes. I'm like, I don't. That ruins it for me. Like,
okay, yeah, that's true. I was able to overlook everything just because of what we got out of this movie.
Okay,
and for me, it was like,
go ahead.
Yeah, because for me, like, but in the moment though, I'm loving. In the moment, I'm fucking having fun, right? Like, I am like. I'm enjoying it from beginning to end. But my thing is that, like, when I left, I kind of had like a bad taste in my mouth. It was like, oh, like, well, and then when I think about it more, there's a lot of things I didn't like, which actually let's start with this. Because one, like Wanda, like, I personally didn't love how they made her super a villain, like from the get-go. Like, I would have liked to have seen her. Because like when the WandaVision ended, we had a little bit of like como se dice, like a little bit of like redeem, she was redeemed a little bit, right? Like she released the Westview people. She didn't kill any of the Westview people, right? And so, but we do see her with the Darkhold, right? Yeah. And if you watch Shield, because we saw the Darkhold in Shield, it fucks with people and makes them bad. But like we didn't see that. Like I would have liked, like, give me 15 minutes of screen time of us seeing Wanda going like, I can do this, I can control this without fucking
with me.
And then seeing her become like darker and dark. Because when WandaVision ended, she wasn't a villain, she was like, all right, I'm sorry for what just happened, I'm out, and leaves feeling guilty. And now the next scene we see her, it's like killing everybody, just like not fucking.
But don't you think Kevin Feige is respecting you and knew that you watched Shield and knew what the Darkhold was capable of, and thus were able to overlook that? Because that's how I felt about it.
You know what? I'll even take that rope. I'll go down that way, Ron. Fine. Let's say that. The one thing I can't get over is how easily Wanda gave herself away to Strange. She just gave up America's name in conversation. So you're capable of concocting a multiversal plan and understanding mystical arts and magics and other languages.
She got.
Get the fuck out of here. Like,
for real.
We don't really know if Strange even suspected her. He went to ask her for help straight up.
He didn't.
And you gave yourself away. That was such a plot device. It was so lazy.
Lazy.
No
That's what I mean. Like Sam Raimi was just like, all right, let's just move it forward. Let's get into fight scenes now.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Thank God he did that.
Like Strange couldn't have like slightly done some like like a detection spell on America and send some chaos, man. You know what I mean? Like some little bit, like a
or even like what she was asking, like bring America there with be more clever. And once she's there, like she becomes like evil, and they're like, oh fuck, and then you escape the Karsh Mashar or whatever the place is called, and like lead the stuff. But no, she got
just in conversation.
Yeah.
But even before we get there, how did you guys feel about how the movie began? Like,
exactly.
blam, into the pockets of the multiverse. Alternate Strange, who speaks Spanish apparently, and his aesthetic was kind of dope.
Yes,
I love that.
I like that theme in Marvel movies now, where you like in Ragnarok. This year reminded me of Ragnarok, where it's like a roller coaster ride of epic Marvel moments.
Right.
I like where they thrust you right into an adventure, and we see a multiversal Stephen Strange and America Chavez in like this like Nexus kind of area, and they're like fighting like a demon or some type of like creature and shit. I thought that is a great way to turn it on, like the movie, and I like that. It's like it's a magical movie. That right off the rip, like that he's like a sorcerer, and I really love that undertone of like the whole MCU and maybe even Marvel Comics in general, like the whole knights and sorcery, and then ultimately like technology with Tony Stark and everything. But you have your archers, your witches, and it's like an epic adventure, but like in a modern context. And then Doctor Strange is your wizard of the team. And this is a very fucking magical adventure and multiversal and everything. So so right off the rip, you're seeing him do like this other version of him doing all these fucking magics with America Chavez, who has like, she's the only being that we know of in the MCU that has the power to traverse the multiverse, which I thought was real cool.
And she's an original being. She's like the only one of her in the multiverse, which is like, holy shit, that's fucking bananas.
Word. And that's a trip. That's cool. No, and I love that whole intro. Yeah, because it was action packed. You're fucking in there for everything you just said. It was cool. And I thought it was a great introduction to America Chavez. Like the seeing like she's not like, well, at least this version of her. Not because the comic books version is a way more badass character than she is. I'm seeing that this is a girl younger that doesn't know how to use her powers and he's trying to figure it out. I still liked her though. I thought it was still a very cool character. And then setting it up that she then escapes to the which is, they obviously called it the 616, right? Earth, which is the MCU.
That was dope. That was dope.
Right, for the people out there, right? Because that's actually in the comic books, right? Like the main Earth in the comic books, it is that whole universe is 616. So it's funny that the movie is mimicking the comic books. That's such a cool Easter egg.
I would have appreciated seeing America Chavez get progressively better at using her powers throughout the movie, not being absolutely helpless in every single way up until the last 5 fucking minutes of the movie.
Lazy. Yeah.
But she was a cute, cool plot device. I liked her as a character, as like a potential future young Avenger. The very simple outfit, and obviously she's woke as fuck. She's Latina. She has 2 moms. She has everything going for her. Like I don't know. I'm a fucking.
Her name is America.
Yeah, America Chavez. I'm an easy sell on all of this shit. Like,
hell yes.
And even like her power, I may have even like felt it was kind of corny that it's a star and everything, but nah, they made it look fucking awesome.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So if you like people out there, if you like the America Chavez, I highly recommend read not the single, because she has some solo series which I've kind of doubt a little bit. They're not the best, but like read the Young Avengers run that was by Kieran Gillen and Jamie McElvey. Fucking amazing creators. They had their own independent book, The Wicked and Divine. It is one of the best fucking books for me of all time for Marvel. It's a great run. And America Chavez is a complete badass in that fucking run. It's got Loki. It has Wiccan, which is one of Wanda's kids, who, because we were talking about earlier, they eventually are like born and their soul is born into another kids. It's weird. They have biological parents and then they have Wanda as a magical parent. It's comic book awesomeness.
No.
This is like the next 10 years of the MCU.
I'm good. I would have appreciated a scene where they showed her like stealing or like maybe getting the jacket from somewhere, because it's too on the nose. It's an American flag. Your name is America. Stars are dropping. You make star punch holes in reality. Like, I would have enjoyed, like she's walking by somewhere. She sees the jacket. It strikes her. She smiles, and then she's wearing the jacket. You know what I mean? Like, that would have been pretty dope. But just having it on is like, it's almost like a lazy uniform in a way.
Yo, my God. Like, Kevin Feige is brilliant. I said it before. Like, when I came out of Endgame, I thought, okay, this is it. But nah, I love that they can that we've seen so many films that they can easily introduce a character out of nowhere into this movie that now makes every Marvel Cinematic movie canon, potentially.
Yeah.
Because everything is Earth. And they beat DC to the punch doing this. Right. This was like DC's bread and butter forever. And they're like, no, we're gonna do it first, and we're gonna do it awesome.
And I think I just realized something. Rod, I think we were discussing this character like a few weeks ago or some shit. America Chavez in the MCU. I feel like she was inspired by that Marvel versus DC character, Access.
Yeah.
I see a little like what would you call it, like a parallel, whatever, between the two. I just thought of that shit now.
Damn,
that's like she's an Access for sure.
Yeah, facts. Okay, so as convoluted as this fucking movie is, let's try between our three minds to be as concise about the plot as possible, so we can move forward in some type of organized manner.
Yeah, because I feel like every scene I could talk about.
Yes. All right. So the issue is what? So Wanda has been using the Darkhold. Since the end of Wanda. Yeah,
before you go, that's because we started off from the first scene. So then this creature is going to like destroy them, right? And obviously this character, America Chavez, is so powerful that she's of interest to every being in the multiverse. So he's trying to save himself and her, and he's like, the only way that this can happen is if I take your power from you and sacrifice you in the process. This is Stephen Strange. And then he gives that line, which I forget, but it sounds really cool. And he says in the grand calculus of the multiverse, like that, I don't know, this is like a blip.
Your sacrifice will be for the greater good.
Yeah, oh my God, I love how cold and calculated that is. And it shows like the magnitude of his power as what we think is Sorcerer Supreme of like fucking at least his universe. And then like, so America Chavez automatically does not necessarily trust this Stephen Strange in any multiverse. And she gets thrust into his life. So right after that epic first scene, that fucking Stephen Strange dies, and now you have America Chavez in the MCU proper that we know and love.
To which where we see that there's some low-key jealousy on behalf of Stephen Strange towards Wong because he won't bow to him. Like, right, well, because he's so jealous,
right? Because right before we get that, right, then we get finally introduced to our proper Stephen Strange, right? We see him that he's attending the wedding of fucking the love of his life that we saw on What If, how tormented he was that he became a villain, that he couldn't be with her.
Facts.
And this guy goes to her wedding. I don't know, man. He's a better man than me, because I would not do that, man. And something, did you guys notice too? Like, I thought it was funny when he was at the wedding. There was that one guy, Dr. West next to him that was an ass.
Yeah.
Told him, like, right? What did he say? Something like, your best superhero, best surgeon, but you still didn't get the girl. It's like, damn, jerk.
Yo,
is that guy somebody?
Yes.
Like in the MCU?
Yeah. So I don't know if he is in the MCU proper, but so in the comic books, he's supposedly Dr. Nicodemus, something like that, West, who he's the doctor that operated on Steven after he got his accident. And so Strange at the beginning blamed him for fucking up his hand, but like obviously he did the best he could to not, for him not to die. And so he was actually introduced by Brian K. Vaughan for fucking Saga, Runaways, and all this, and Why the Last Man in his book, the Oath, for Doctor Strange, The Oath, with Marcos Martin. Artist, a great book, and he ends up being a bad guy. Obviously, this doctor eventually down the road.
And shout out to Benjamin Cumberbatch, because when he said like you didn't get Benedict Cumberbatch, not Benjamin. Shout out to Benedict Cumberbatch, because when Homeboy said that line, like, and you didn't get the girl, you saw that like Oscar level acting, like that shit hit him, like Like his eyes got a little misty. Like, damn, that shit was like high quality acting right there.
And he's mad HD too.
OD.
He's the most HD guy in the MCU, I think.
More HD than Loki?
Damn, I think he's more HD.
It's the blue eyes.
And the long face, and I don't know, it's just mad. Like,
right.
Like, there's certain like he visually is the perfect Stephen Strange. I mean, they nailed that amongst many other things here.
Yo, and actually speaking of that, because then that next scene, right, when he's at the wedding and then he's like sees this chaos, which is like this kind of Shuma-Gorath type of monster that's attacking New York City, and the way he jumps into the fight, like just he's in a fucking wedding suit, right? Like, he's in his fucking nice proper suit, jumps off, gets the fucking cloak of levitation, and then just warps his clothes back to his suit. So fucking epic. Like, it's just the coolest fucking scene.
That was badass as fuck. But can we address for a second the controversy that fucking scene was before we saw this movie? That was just some bullshit monster. We thought it was going to be Shuma-Gorath. Everyone was fucking talking about the tentacles and the what if universe and how all this shit is connected. Yeah. Nothing, absolutely nothing tied back to this. Everyone on Earth was wrong, and we still don't know what those tentacles and that being were, or if they just threw that idea in the fucking trash can.
Well, it still may be that same demon though, because remember, because now what we know, right, is that Wanda is controlling demons and sending them through the multiverse to capture America, and so it could have just been the same fucking demon. Although I know actually, like, because besides the issues with us like speculating, technically actually there's like copyright issues or something, because apparently the MCU Marvel Studio doesn't own the rights for Shuma-Gorath, and so they were calling him Shuma-Gorath at first, but then they had to change his name to Gargantuos, who they do own the rights for, which are basically kind of similar looking villains, but they're not the same. But he really looked like Shuma-Gorath to me, but I don't know, but it's just fucking tentacle demon, whatever.
Except that Shuma-Gorath is a Dormammu level being.
Well, you're right.
Which is a god. So there's that. You know what I mean? Like, that was, like, I think that was just a little bit weird on the back end, but we still got an awesome fight, though.
Hell yeah. God damn, that was fucking awesome.
And I don't know how America Chavez did not piss and whole shit herself hanging from so many ledges. Like fuck out of here. How do you keep so much composure? Like, yo, I would have been losing my fucking mind. But I guess her seeing so much shit throughout the multiverse.
Exactly.
It's like
she visited what, like 77, she said, or something like that?
Or something like that, yeah.
78.
And somehow managed to retain her sanity. If you think about it, that's kind of crazy. But yeah, and her origin was pretty bugged out. Because didn't China want the country of China want that part cut out? That would have made the character completely without any background.
Oh,
wasn't there some controversy,
right?
Like,
yeah, because of two moms, right? Exactly.
Oh,
damn.
So in like the Chinese version of this movie, she has no origin.
It's just a girl with the power to travel the multiverse.
I feel like it's still, that scene is great, but again, I feel like the movie doesn't necessarily need it. And I even made an argument that this movie doesn't even necessarily need WandaVision.
No, I need to know why this young Hispanic girl can punch holes through universes.
But we don't even really know. Like, and that's the crazy, like, her origin is so wild.
Or at least how she found out.
No idea.
Yeah, but I need to know at least how she found out she could do it. You know what I'm saying? Which her origin does.
The
B-LEDs on her hand, whenever she gets like an extreme reaction.
Like a weird meta.
Exactly.
Yo, but Rod, you said though, but you think that people don't need to see WandaVision to get into the explain yourself.
Okay, and here's why.
Fuck.
Because of the epic scene where after this intro where we see this Stephen Strange die, our Stephen wakes up from like a very visceral nightmare, and you get the obligatory shirtless male lead scene right there. He's all sweaty and he has gains.
Yeah.
So like the impact, the fact that, and then when he sees America, there's context. He's like, wait, do I know you? Yeah. you had a fucking multiversal adventure with this chick. Just knowing the power of so in the MCU, it's been established to some degree that dreams allow you to peer into the multiverse to some degree. I've always believed this theory, by the way. So the fact that Wanda could have a dream where somewhere she has children with vision and get to live that existence, even if it's for that brief moment that they showed us in the movie, that's enough for me to say that this like lone person who's been corrupted will go insane.
But I think we need to see that though. Like if we didn't have WandaVision, I would want to see that happening, right? Because so far where we know Wanda's a hero, you know, like before WandaVision, you know, she was a hero. She stepped up, defeated Hydra, fucking Ultron, you know, helped against Thanos, and then just because she had a dream where she saw she has kids, then she's like, fuck it, I'm gonna kill everybody. Like I don't know, it's a stretch.
Seduced by the dark arts.
No.
Right.
I agree with Miguel though. We need to
see that.
Like
yeah,
WandaVision. Maybe not even.
It's better, a better experience. Yeah. I'm sure it's gonna get an uptake in views after people see Multiverse of Madness.
Maybe not even all the episodes in WandaVision, but if you think about it, like as far as like villains in a movie go, Wanda might be one of the most fleshed out villains in cinematic history.
What?
You've been seeing no. Listen. Hear me out.
Yeah, I agree.
No, you guys bugging.
Hear me out. How fucking long ago was she introduced in
the Winter Soldier post credits?
How long ago was that?
2014 it came out, no?
Yo, bro, so for like 7 years, you've been seeing this character progressively get to where they are now. How often do you see a villain fleshed out that long and justified and go through so much shit? I'm not saying she's the best villain. I'm just saying she's one of the most fleshed out villains.
Bro, it's the American, like, Lord of the Rings. Like, this is our fucking epic tale that's being told. Oh my god, I love it. My Vader vibes.
My own. Well, all right, I get that for sure. My only gripe is that it wasn't progressive, because I felt like from where we saw WandaVision to this, that was a fucking exponential fucking change.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. That should make sense, bro. A fucking Vision dying, the progression, everything throughout WandaVision. I would have liked to see how she got the Darkhold though.
Yes, right.
Did she get it from?
Nope, we just saw her.
Exactly. That was a fuck up.
Okay.
I would say in the MCU, the best fleshed out villain for me has been Killmonger. I think they gave us a really cool backstory to him, why he hated Wakanda, why he had to go back, what he wanted to do. Like but
it wasn't fleshed out.
Yeah, it was. We saw him as a kid and shit. He saw his dad get killed. I don't know.
But like in one movie, 2 hours, we've been seeing Wanda make this shift for years. Just little by little.
Yeah.
Wanda's like a chili just simmering for like on like 19 hours on like 200 degrees.
And
I like how it challenges the assumption that everyone who's an Avenger is meant to be an Avenger and wield that level of power.
Facts.
Like all these, they're just upping the ante on the power levels for all these characters. And come on, one of them has got to go to the dark side.
That's true.
It's just going to happen. And to give her that story about the kid and like all this, like, I don't know.
I like it. No, you're right. I like it. Yeah.
If I'm using that correctly, but you know what I mean?
Sort of.
It's easy to buy into that, you know, that in a dream, you're living this perfect life. Oh, guess what? And you know what? The whole that you have to kill America Chavez to use her powers thing, that too was overblown. Because even at one point she starts to use her and as a conduit. I imagine she would have kept her alive, or I don't know, who knows, whatever. I'm jumping too deep into it, but I liked her as a villain.
Me too. I did like that. I just need a little bit more, but I was with it. I liked it. I think she made a good villain. She was a fucking real threat too, which is dope to see that.
To Rod's point, I mean, they kind of had to make it like, if you steal her powers, you kill her, because then like, what are the stakes?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's like they kind of had to do that. It's like this and this and this equals this, no matter how. Like that's kind of like the way you had to make it out to be.
It reminded me of the first X-Men movie with Rogue and Magneto, and the way he's trying to use her to make everybody immune or whatever.
Facts.
Question for you guys. What scene do you think was more epic as far as like a CGI achievement? Doctor Strange versus Spider-Man in the mirror dimension? Or when they were jumping through universes together, America and Strange?
No, I would say the Doctor Strange versus Spider-Man in the mirror dimension because it was longer. Yeah, because that whole jumping through the dimension, it was just like this one long kind of scene that, you know, it was just them floating, and I don't know, they were fighting. Like they were actually, if anything, I really liked the WandaVision fight in the, como he said, their temple place, because he kind of pulled her into the mirror dimension, and that was creepy, and when they're trying to get out through the reflections, like that was dope.
Man.
Fair enough. Okay, cool. Yo, fucking wizards and shit. Jesus Christ. All right, so where do we leave off with the movie? Oh yeah, so he jumps off the balcony, fights the bootlegged Shumagorath. He meets America Chavez. Then that's when we see Wong, right?
Yeah.
Because with the shift and shit. And then what happens after that?
Well, after that, that's when they do all that thing where then they go to take her to Martash versus the place, and then he goes to Wanda, and then it leads to that big epic fight then eventually at that place. Because then obviously they talk and then they find the Doctor Strange body though, right? That because America brought him with her, and so that's, which was good. You know, they had to introduce that idea because it was important for the end, which is dope.
Fuck,
that was cool.
How did you guys feel about her attacking Karshar Martash?
I felt like they did a good job at making it look like they were also pushing her to that action. Like it wasn't, she just didn't storm them and start destroying them. She hit like one guy. Like she wasn't killing them at first until they brought out the heavy artillery. So I like the way they justified it, at least.
I feel like you're wrong. Justified. Exactly.
Oh,
what
are you talking about?
That's where the whole thing was headed anyway. She wanted to kill America. Like, how else did you think that was gonna go down?
And it was epic.
It was epic, but she did that whole like bullshit supervillain thing. Like, I'm being reasonable by trying to kill all of you individually, not as a group. A massacre would be unreasonable, but I can kill a few of you and that's fine. It's
right.
Like, damn, you're wrong.
After being teased in, I think, Endgame with Scarlet Witch's power levels, I was waiting for this movie.
Yes.
Like, because as a geek of the MCU, you always want to rank these guys in power level. And one of the top power level is the Scarlet Witch, right? So I'm like, how would she fare? For example, one question I had was, how would she fare against Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel? And I like how this movie somewhat answered that question, but let's keep going with it. So she storms this epic temple where all the sorcerers led by Wong and Doctor Strange, they're trying to like fend off her onslaught and protect America, but she just rips right through them with her fucking Scarlet Witch powers.
How did you guys feel like about the mind attack Professor X level shit?
Oh, I thought that was dope because that's something we haven't seen since Age of Ultron, I feel, right? Because like that's how we got introduced to her, because she did that to the Avengers, right? Like she kind of got into their fucking heads, and it's like, oh, I'm like, I forgot she can do that. And it was like so creepy, right? Like kind of appearing behind him, like run. Yes. And he's like, oh, like that was dope.
One thing I will say, though, I am surprised at how easily the other wizards fell from getting bumped into by a comrade. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're treating mad hard in the Mystic Arts. Your boy bumps into you running away, and that brings the whole magical phalanx down. You know what I mean? They were doing some Spartan-type shit with the shields, and, like, one of them took off running and, like, bumped into them and just fucked everything up. That felt a little bit too easy for me, but the overall fight was dope. I like that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I love it when she's like justifying what she's gonna do. She's like, oh, if they get a disease, I could just travel the multiverse and find a cure. Anything I'd ever need is in, like, she's fucking gonna like flirting with becoming a god straight up.
Facts.
Like, damn, and her power levels. Doctor Strange, is nothing like compared to her, like on a one-on-one. Jesus.
What I don't get about that is, so there's no other Scarlet Witch in the, you know what I mean? Like, wouldn't she eventually bump into a universe where there's another Scarlet Witch? There's like, whoa, bitch. Like, what are you doing?
That's a what if episode for you, right
there.
Yeah,
like
right there.
Take notes.
Season 2. There you go.
Facts. OD. And I'm not gonna front. I was expecting out of all the Stranges to get the, what is it, like the ultimate Supreme Strange, or the really evil one from What If? What's that one called?
But we didn't see him. I don't remember what his name was, but the ultimate Strange or something like that, or the
we thought like that What If was gonna have some impact maybe on this show.
Word, right? At all, nothing from that.
Because even Captain Carter, spoiler alert, obviously,
right.
It's not the same one that we saw in What If.
Right.
Damn, that's a good point. I didn't even think
variant.
Of that.
Yeah, it's a different Captain Carter. Mm-hmm.
Which, jumping the gun a little bit, you guys just bring up a very important point I wanted to make, that even though I hated how easily the Illuminati were taken off the board, that was that universe's Illuminati, thus opening the possibility for other Illuminatis from different universes. So we could get all those same characters back.
Especially, right? All right, so let's jump to that.
Yeah,
right?
And we're right there. So when Scarlet
there.
Witch goes to get the America, whenever she has like a life-threatening moment, she opens a portal to the multiverse, and boom, that's what happens right there. Before Scarlet Witch can take them, her and Steven jump right into the multiverse, and then they end up in this universe that has a Illuminati.
Right. Which is also it was a very pretty Earth too, because they had a lot of flowers all over the place, really different colors. Like everybody's dressed in the same like dark colors, which I feel like is a very New York City almost. But like the color, it was really nice. It was like, oh, very nice. But yes, then eventually, obviously, then they see Baron Mordo, who's the Sorcerer Supreme there, tries to be friendly, fools them, drugs them. With some magic fucking, that's what I even like that actually too, that it wasn't just like some random fucking thing that he put like some actual chemical. Nope, that it's a magical elixir that he added to their tea to make them pass out. Because I'm like, obviously that's gonna knock Strange out. Like you can't knock him out with anything, right? And then eventually taking him to the Illuminati, where we finally fucking see, in which we called it. We called at least one of them. We confirmed for real. We said it here on the show. The rumor of John Krasinski, Jim Halpert from The Office, playing Reed Richards. We saw that fucking happen, guys.
Oh my god!
Facts.
What did you think?
That was epic. Just a quick side note. I think the tea might have affected Strange because of how thoroughly he vomited his soul into that fucking chimney. Like that was a like Dumb and Dumber movie level vomit. I just want to point that out. Like I was shocked at how hardcore he threw up.
Yo, because he threw up for like a minute, right? Like he threw up his lunch and his breakfast, like all of it.
It was guttural. Like you heard the chunks.
Yeah,
like,
his body was ready to absorb anything that's gonna be put in there.
Exactly. That shit smacked them.
Oh man.
All right, but guys, the Illuminati thoughts. All right, get into it.
So in that Earth, Stephen Strange is dead because he sacrificed himself in a flashback scene that we'll see. But so on this Earth, Baron Mordo, right? He takes Stephen to like their Avengers on this Earth. Their Avenger analog team is the Illuminati, which fucking shout out to Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios for also incorporating this storyline into the MCU. Even though it's an alternate Earth, it's still fucking canon. It's still epic. These guys have, like you mentioned, Reed Richards. They have Captain Marvel, right? Who's a different wielder of the power, but it's not Monica Rambeau.
It's the mom of Monica Rambeau, because she was the one that was gonna go out first, and then then eventually Brie Larson went on the ship. So that's how Brie. Carol Danvers became in our universe, technically, the Captain Marvel. But so it's the mom of Monica Rambeau.
I appreciate that swap.
Real cool. You have Captain Carter, like we mentioned.
Hell yeah.
Epic. And having her back in the MCU. I love that they can do this now. Like you can bring an actress back and have her be fucking awesome. and then they have Black Bolt, which we speculated that they were going to potentially bring back and maybe bring the guy from the show, which they did.
Which is a trip to see the same actor.
Yes.
We're like, what?
I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting such a comic book accurate costume, because as we all know, the Black Bolt costume, from what I saw in the commercials with Inhumans, because I refuse to consume that trash, that costume was garbage from what I could tell. It was a borderline very comic accurate costume.
Yeah.
And I'm sure every time they showed him, no one ever got to hear his government name. They call him Black Bolt because his actual name is Blackagon Boltagon, which is a wild ass name. Because I'm sure no one got to hear when they said it as soon as they showed him. And then they even did the 90s tune.
Oh
my god! I can't. And that is the first, dude. That is the first time we get the live action iteration of the big ass yellow wheelchair.
Oh fuck!
They actually did that. I was like, damn, like they did that.
The credits could have rolled, right? That would have been like, yeah. Next summer, the rest of this movie, I would have been, come on.
Which brings me to a quick point. Fuck you, Fox, for giving Xavier that bum ass wheelchair in your X-Men movies. You should be ashamed of yourself.
All right, stop, because that X-verse is sacred and amazing.
Dude, I was always a little bit angry that he didn't have something better than like a regular wheelchair. If you look back on those movies, his wheelchair did nothing special except that it had like a bit of an X symbol in the wheels.
Yeah, but patience, right, is everything, because you will eventually get what you want. And look what they did. Not only did he in that in the on fleek wheelchair, but they also had the theme from the 97 song 97 show.
You
95.
No, 92. No, it was
92.
Yeah. So you just had the patience check. You just had to wait almost 20 years.
Facts.
And then you get it.
Jesus Christ.
That was amazing, dude. And then that's when we get the justification what happened with the Strange of that universe. And we see something that has happened in comics very rarely, but is one of those special moments that when you see it, you're like, oh shit, they did it. Black Bolt used his voice. Holy fuck. Dude, I almost jizzed. That is one of the most satisfying powers when you see it done, because you barely, like, you hear about it, you see some flashbacks, and there's been just a few moments. And for the fans who don't know, Black Bolt's power is essentially, he basically has the voice of God, if you want to put it into like some crazy context. With a whisper, he can shatter cities. Yeah, you heard that correctly. With a whisper, he can shatter cities. And the way they did it, he apologized to Strange. He was like, I'm ready. You know what I mean? Take me out. I've been corrupted. I know this. Like, fuck. All Black Bolt does is whisper, I'm sorry. And that Strange is fucking vaporized, like non-existent, no dust. His atoms were white. Oh my god,
that was so epic.
And I love how they can, like, if we would have waited for the Illuminati to show up in natural MCU time, it might have been like next phase or some shit. I love that the multiverse allows us to get it now. Like, yo, we got Reed Richards, we got Charles Xavier. We've been speculating on who are these guys in the MCU. Well, hold on, check them out all over the multiverse. This is fucking incredible, crazy. And that little pocket universe has its own history. It's a deep, rich universe.
Yo, and what's great, because like actually I think now they're setting it up to make more sense in the MCU, right? Because they said in that group, right, that Doctor Strange brought the Illuminati together in that universe, right, to deal with the big stuff, big shit. And the biggest thing, which I thought was great, which I think is setting up for the big bad down the road, they mentioned incursions, right? Yes. Which, that's classic Secret Wars from Jonathan Hickman's epic Avengers run and New Avengers run. That brought the new Illuminati back together, right? So I feel like now that all of this shit happens, Strange will then think about like, well, I need to build an Illuminati for our Earth now, right? And then especially because obviously, spoiler alert, right? We're getting to the end and we find out that incursions are happening. but it's like, oh shit. I think for the fans,
I was a little bit confused by that.
Oh, go for it. Go for it.
No, I was a little bit confused by that part because, okay, so Doctor Strange created the incursion when he fucked up the spell for Peter in Far From Home.
No. It seems, at least from what I understood from the movie, they said the incursions happen, I guess, when people travel the multiverse and stay too long or something in the other planet. Isn't that what they explained? And that it makes the other planet kind of try to collide with that planet or something like that, right? I didn't really understand, but it was something
exactly
like
that. So that's what I mean. So
it has to be an event that disrupts the natural balance of the multiverse.
So what caused that though? Like, that's the one thing that, like, okay, so the only thing I can trace back to in my mind, this movie, aside from the whole thing with Wanda, the issue with the multiverse is created by the spell fuck up in Far From Home. Because then what else is causing this incursions? Was the fact that he traveled with America?
Well, we don't, maybe, exactly. I think that's what I understood.
Yeah.
Because they said their Strange from the Illuminati caused an incursion on another Earth. So not their Earth.
Oh.
Like two other Earths collided. And the same thing for the Doctor Strange that we saw at the end, the evil one with the eye, the third eye, that he caused an incursion on his planet too. But I'm not really sure exactly how that's caused. I think they said something, because of also like how towards the end, we're getting ahead of ourselves. So like when Doctor Strange did the sleepwalk thing, right? Or dreamwalk thing.
Dreamwalking.
Maybe that causes an incursion. I don't know. But I don't like, also I wasn't clear at the end, but we're still really getting ahead of ourselves. But like, is the incursion happening on the 616 Earth or another Earth?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's weird. Or maybe it's that there's different Stranges causing different incursions. You know what I mean? Because basically throughout the multiverse, there's more than one Strange causing more than one incursion at separate times.
Right.
There's the evil one that he caused one. There's the Earth 838. I think that was the name of the universe with the Illuminati. He caused an incursion. You know what I mean? Like, so maybe that's it. Then now there's the 616 Strange also currently causing an incursion by being in 838. So there's Stranges across the multiverse creating incursions.
Right.
Yeah, and they set it up that hopefully the incursion caused by our Strange is going to be resolved in the next adventure. That's where they leave you off in the end credits. But before we get there, I just love that there was, first of all, that they introduced, again, I don't even think I brought this up when I was talking about Illuminati, disassembled, all the rich comic book history that they brought together to make this movie. Also, like you mentioned, Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four, to his Avengers, to his Secret Wars run, and having John Straczynski as Reed Richards with an epic Fantastic Four outfit, looking the part down to the T, him introducing incursions into the MCU, I'm like, that's it. Like, whatever I paid for this ticket has been paid for. Everything else is free. Everything is Kevin Feige's love.
Just extra.
Fans. Okay, this is the admission. Boom, take all this other shit, all this other heavy history. And then, of course, that's when you get Wanda, what she sleepwalks into that Earth with the Illuminati, dreamwalks. And then she's wreaking havoc there. And she just fucking tears through that super team,
dude.
And one thing I didn't like, but this is like whatever a design set thing. I didn't like that they were above, like, because I didn't think of them as like a Justice League, like we're above you type shit. I thought that they would be more like a Marvel team, like more on the level,
right?
Like I don't know, because like from the trailers, they made it seem like the Illuminati was this like extraversal unity of beings from across the multiverse.
Yeah, exactly.
So so they're above. I can see that because they're fucking like timekeepers or some weird shit like that. But nah, they're just assholes and shit.
yeah, exactly. They're like the Justice League almost of that, but not like even like bigger, right? I guess or so. Yeah, exactly. Because even the Illuminati in the comic books, they're like nobody knows they exist, right? That they're supposed to be like they don't have a lair, they don't have like this big fucking building where you can go meet with the Illuminati. They're supposed to be like kind of secret and working behind the scenes. But so that was a bit too much, but it made it look cool just to have them all seated there and come out. Like visually was interesting.
Fuck.
Yes.
And I'm glad that Rod brought up the Krasinski suit. Is that the hottest Fantastic Four live action suit to date?
Probably.
Yeah,
I gotta look at the old ones again, but I think probably.
I'm gonna say
that
probably.
Shit was fly.
Yeah.
And obviously, this is the part that everyone is upset about. I, of course, before the movie, went into dive in the comments as I usually do to read shit. And I knew that the Illuminati were going to be in it, so that wasn't a spoiler, but I was looking for spoilers, obviously. And I noticed that people were upset by how easily they were defeated, and I completely agree. There should be no reason. No, and I mean, I see the reason. They wanted to rush it to be an all-woman fight. Duh. You know what I mean? Woke as fuck, shove that in there. All about girl power. I get it. I'm with it. That's fine. But to dismantle Reed Richards like that was fucking retarded. And also, now in this universe, you have a Sue Storm without a husband, a Johnny Storm without a brother-in-law, and a Ben Grimm without a best friend.
That's dark.
That's dark
have
as
Zack
fuck.
Snyder come in and make that movie.
Yes.
Aftermath.
Yo, and he had the kids, which was exciting. They mentioned that he had kids. So in this universe, he probably has Valeria and Franklin.
Dude.
So
I hadn't even thought of that.
You're adding more
that.
reasons to why this movie was great. Fuck.
I hadn't even thought of that.
Oh, and she tells him that.
Yeah.
Mother. Oh,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Yo,
So I didn't even catch that.
Yeah.
But
so
then,
Valeria and Franklin Richards exist in that universe, man. Shit. Without a dad.
Shit,
now.
I mean, those could have been Doom bots instead of Ultron bots. You never know. Like
no, but they said
like,
they called themselves like Ultron bots. So they are Ultron. Yeah.
But yeah, like I was okay. So Reed Richards got turned into basically a bunch of noodles.
Yep.
How did they wipe out the rest of them? Black Bolts. That one got me tight because I felt like it's
so
like
cool.
He should have been able to get something out, you know, like try to say something, and she captures the sound or some shit like that and throws some shit like that, but allow him to use the power. She turned his mouth into what looked like a ball sack.
The Matrix. Shout out Hayden Smith.
Word,
Unable to speak.
But I do appreciate how gory it was, though. That was dope. I did like that.
Oh my gosh, he did fatalities. Just when you think like Disney Plus is gonna fuck it up, nope. Mortal Kombat out here. Scarlet Witch was slicing people in half, exploding people, giving people aneurysms, cracking necks. Oh my god.
Oh, okay. That
Jesus
one also.
Christ.
Oh, cracking necks, man.
Xavier was too easily defeated, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It was like that was a little much.
He came out with a tight shirt, epic. Like, because they're like having a mental battle. I'm like, okay, this is your domain, man. Come on,
come on, man.
Yeah.
He just gets
like they could have had a little back and forth.
Yeah, they could have fought a little bit. You could have even made a CGI, right? Like have him envision himself as some kind of epic, like, you know, a mindscape kind of creature to fight Wanda and then eventually get defeated, but not just like appear behind them and crack and snap his neck. Like, oh, okay, shit. Like, all right.
Or like a cloud that's like counter to hers, you know, like a blue storm.
Something like
whatever,
that, yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was like nothing. Like,
yeah, she's Dark Phoenix level.
Yeah, basically. So then the power gets rushed. I mean, the battle gets rushed to, you know, like all woman on woman, and you see Captain Carter flex, and that shit was dope.
Yeah, hell yeah. I think that was cool. For me, it kind of made sense because I think technically they would be the two most powerful people, you know, counting Black Bolt out that, you know, they incapacitated him quickly. Captain Marvel is the powerhouse, so she would be able to go toe to toe with Scarlet Witch. And then Captain Carter, if she's Captain America, you know, come on, you know, he's going to be able to survive at least long enough, you know, to keep the battle going. I kind of didn't like this, that they had to do the whole, like, you know, like, are you getting tired or something? And she's like, I could do this all day. Like, oh, like, God damn, how many times have we heard that line?
Us that shit. Yeah,
I actually enjoyed that.
Me too. I liked it
because it kind of solidified that, like, whoever is Captain whatever has that attitude. You know what I'm saying?
We can do this all night. Fun.
Yeah.
See,
and she had a jetpack.
I thought the jetpack was dumb. I'm like, why did she need a jetpack? Like, she what?
I think you're dumb. She needs a jetpack.
No, because for me, I think
I agree with that.
From here on out, this is when I started not liking the movie that much. Like the gory, it was fun, that scene, but then afterwards, I think it just got very campy. Then we also had a lot of scenes. I don't like Sam Raimi's style. Like a lot of scenes, like the camera angles are on the side. Like I feel like I'm watching Batman versus Robin, and you having random zoom ins to people's faces and out and back and out and pauses, and like when they're waiting, when they're running away from Scarlet Witch and they're trying to get the water. There's a moment where the three of them, like America, what's the doctor's name? Not Doctor Strange. The other doctor either.
Kristen something.
Kristen? It's not Kristen. Something? Christine, right? Christine. Yeah, it's Christine. Like Christine and Strange are waiting, and they just wait. And then the camera's on their face, each one. Like, oh no. And I'm like, this is mad campy. This is like some Bruckheimer Batman versus, Batman Robin and Robin.
True.
I did feel that when Christine was trying to get America out of the cell, they stretched that shit.
Oh Lord, yes.
That was a weird scene, yeah. Weird
that was like one Scarlet Witch, why are you limping? Just levitate off the floor. Like, make yourself some magical shit. I don't know.
I'm glad she took some damage. Because I actually like that part because it was kind of corny when she's like going through the tunnels and shit like a zombie.
Yeah, that was stupid.
At least Captain Marvel did something, because this is like top powerful character on the Illuminati. At least it looked like at the very end there, and at least she gave her a limp. Damn.
Yeah, at least. Yeah,
she blow through them.
No, but it's kind of like I feel like they kind of overused the like limp to justify the long ass trying to get America out of the cell thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
like, you're right, because she could just float, right? Like, look, if your leg just float, because we've seen you fly, like you can fly. Like, why are you hurting your leg?
Oh yeah, or maybe like blast them from a distance. Like, you're in the room, blast them from far away.
All right, let's at least hope that the sacrifice of the Illuminati bought that Strange in America at least like 3 minutes, man. Like, come on.
It was just the way it played out was weird. Like, time wise, I don't know. Like, they could have done something better than just have like a scene where it's just Christine being mad, stressed out that she can't get America out.
Yeah, you know what? Speaking of those weird moments too, also when that's at the same time when like Strange, like when he escapes, where the Illuminati has him, he has like the cuffs on his hand, and Mordo inadvertently frees him. That was corny.
Yeah,
that was hard to look over. That whole fight was not needed.
Nope.
He's like, all this time it looks like you've loved me, but secretly you've hated me, and it's like,
and then let's fight. Then,
yeah,
but then they have to fight like without powers too, right? Because they both get that thing, and so we can't use power, so we have to use our fists and kicks, and like, why are we seeing this? This is dumb, and it's like, and then Strange uses parkour to get out of the fucking hole.
Like, okay. No magic, just straight up. He's the surgeon. He does parkour.
Wait, however, that might be kind of comic accurate, because if you read into his powers, he's also a master martial arts.
Yeah, no, yeah, we're not saying it's completely it makes sense, but it was just. Because he even mentioned that he's been trained by Wong too, or I don't remember if it was mentioned there or actually in the book I just read, the Oath, but he's trained by Wong in martial arts too, so he knows he's not Iron Fist level fucking good, but he can hold his own.
Yeah, exactly. Which that's what I'm saying. I actually appreciate it. Like, let's go. It's time, even if only a little bit. We see that aspect of Stephen Strange, because like if you think about it, the dude has time if he's not saving the world. The whole thing about being, like Sorcerer Supreme is like you're literally just chilling, practicing magic. No shit, he's also going to practice fighting. Like, it just makes sense. And it was kind of cool to actually see a little bit. So I kind of actually enjoyed a bit of that scene. The one thing that I didn't understand was that Xavier was like, if you get out of this room, just I hope you make the right choice. But it's like, did Strange help him get out? Did I miss something?
What?
You don't remember like when Xavier was like if you get out of this room, or like I hope you get out, or something like that? Yeah. That seems like he would have said that and then helped them get out.
No, I know, no, but he didn't. I hated all of that. I thought that was all stupid.
That was weird.
Because also like at the beginning, the whole fucking scene was about like how we don't trust Strange. We don't trust our Strange became evil. And then the whole movie's been about how even America's dealt with bad Stranges in the past. And like Strange can't be a good person. And then all of a sudden, Charles Xavier's like, nah, he good though. He's cool. We can let him go.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just assume that because he read his mind and saw who he was, right? But we didn't even get that, like, show us that scene, no? Because like Xavier's just like, okay, and then nobody trusts him. He's like, what? We're gonna go deal with Scarlet Witch, but you crazy, Xavier. And then he says that thing like, well, if you can get out, I'm not gonna help you though, but good luck though. It's like, what's happening?
Yeah, you could skip. Because Mordo should have went to help the Illuminati anyway. You didn't need that whole scene. That whole scene could have been cut out and have him fight alongside of his fucking team.
Yeah, that would have been dope.
That made no sense. None of that. That's what I mean. At this point in the movie, for me, it's like, oh man, the things are not making sense to a point that I cannot just ignore. Like what's happening right now.
Facts.
Right, because then we get the scene, right? They kind of escape America, Christine, Strange, and they enter the even that, like trying to find the room, and it has to be the watch that that I guess that Christine gave Strange in that universe too.
Oh, the waypoint.
Yeah, that was a little bit weird too, because I felt like without magic, like not at all. He just put the watch, and then I'm like, you do some magic to open the door. But no, it's still like it's just like any human can walk in then as long as they have the watch. But
I felt like they were really struggling to make Christine seem useful. Like they were pushing it. So then, because remember, it's her that like, hey Steven, here's the watch. You know what I mean? So he puts the watch in. Then they open the waypoint and they go to where the Book of Ashanti is. The Book of Ashanti is the spectral antithesis of the Darkhold, apparently.
Right. Ultimately, right. That's the whole point, right? Too, because that's how they're going to defeat the Scarlet Witch, right? They need the Book of Ashanti to be able to defeat the Scarlet Witch, which is empowered by the Darkhold, and so, right.
Which I find it kind of weird that the Darkhold is so easily accessible, but the Book of Ashanti is fucking locked up in between universes and some crazy pocket shit for no one to ever reach. That was kind of like, that's a little weird. Like, why is this dark ass tome so easily accessible to people? Because it was all over S.H.I.E.L.D. We don't even know how Wanda got her hands on it. The shit is just out there being passed around like a pamphlet.
Yo, that's a good point, right? Shouldn't it be the other way around, right? Because this is the good book. We want people to touch the good book. Why do you have the bad book just like out? Like, we're like, all right. Exactly. And then eventually it's on a wall too, right? So like on Mount Wondergar that you can just read it on a wall. Like, okay.
That was random. Yeah.
Facts. And I wanted those big ass monsters to be a little bit more useful that were at Mount Wondergar. It was like these big impressive beasts. They bow down to Wanda and then like that's it. That's all they do.
Yeah.
Like they seem vastly underused. And how did they get to that weird, dark, evil, strange place? So they escape from Wanda on Earth 838. Then they go get the Book of Ashanti, but they can't get it because it gets destroyed. And is that when they end up?
Yeah, that's from there, because in that universe where the Book of Ashanti is, when the book gets destroyed, Wanda's able to kind of control there at that point America's power, and then sends Christine and Strange to that other universe, and then sends and brings herself and America back into the 616. And which leaves, I love when, the regular Wanda from that universe gains control and she's like, what the fuck? Like, where am I? Like, what? So that's how it leads to that. Yeah.
And I did enjoy the clip where they showed Wanda doing the dream walking thing. I did appreciate that. That was a cool scene. I like that.
Yeah.
And I think then we get the closest version of that What If Supreme. This would be like one removed, I guess. Because this one seems evil as fuck, but he was just chilling with the Darkhold.
Word. And what did you guys think of all that scene?
I thought that fight sequence was awesome, where they're fighting with musical notes. Yeah. Fucking brilliant, new, innovative. Oh, man. I thought it was dope.
I actually thought it was stupid as fuck, but it was amazing to see visually. Like, really, like musical notes, like that's some Disney-ass Fantasia House of Mouse shit. That's exactly what that was. But I like it was cool. I like it's inarguably cool, but it's like, what?
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like I'm conflicted. Like I was seeing it and I'm like, well, this is dumb. Like, why are they fighting with music? You know, like out of all the things that are in the room, that's what you're choosing to fight with music. But I'm liking it though. I'm like, it's visually fun. I'm entertained. But it's like it's just weird. I'm like, I turned my brain off. I'm like, all right, just enjoy it.
and somewhat fourth wall breaking where it's going with the score of the scene.
Yeah,
that was kind of
that's
cool.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I was surprised how they went with that Strange's death though. Like, damn, talk about some horror shit. Like, fuck, he was gored. Like,
oh yeah.
Like, let's.
But his third eye
Disney.
stayed open though, right?
Word, yeah.
But, yeah, and then talk about the third eye. We see that Strange gets that third eye later on in the movie somehow, which is fucking crazy. That's just pretty wild. But again, then Strange, he sets up to do some dream walking himself to go and possess the zombie Strange, which is one of the coolest parts of the movie.
Oh my god!
Somehow expecting Christine to keep him safe from like the
what
is she going to do?
I think it's part of the whole initiative to empower the love interest in the movie, because she had like a little suit too, and she was more involved. You know, it's
but
like,
I'm down. I'm with that.
Less damsel in distress more.
But she was totally out of her element. She's a straight up doctor / scientist who studies, what is it, like what'd you call it? Fucking multiversal physics, I guess, or some crazy shit. Fucking like theoretical astronomy on some Sheldon shit. But fucking like asking her to protect you from the souls of the damned.
Yeah.
Like, brother, what? Like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
That was one of those plot points where you're like, what is happening?
And then I think
care.
And then they show us, because then when those fucking specters appear in that world, like, it's also stupid seeing her deal with them. I like that she figured it out with grabbing the like a lamp kind of thing, right, and with fire. But there was this whole scene where it's just like a zoom in of her face screaming like, "Oh no!" and then a monster,
yeah,
"Oh no, no!" And I'm like, "Oh, this is campy stupid as fuck, man!" Like, no, like come on, move on.
If I'm not mistaken, she didn't even take any damage in that scene. They didn't even scratch her clothes. These vicious, dark soul demons, souls of the damned, didn't even manage to draw blood, rip through her clothing, nothing. And I mean, I get it how she
that
found.
Could have been better.
Yeah. Like, better. I get how she found the artifact. This version of Christine is mad educated in magic because it's Strange. She understands the artifacts and the Sanctus Sanctorum.
Right.
But like, what? Like, not that.
Yo, for like half a second, I thought she was gonna manifest like Sue Storm powers on some like random shit. Like she's like a Sue Storm of that universe. But I'm like, no, that would have been weird.
Yeah. That would have been that would have been wild. But then we get Zombie Strange, and then the movie takes a super cool turn.
Yeah, I love that. I love that whole necromancer dark zombie Strange. Visually, the fact that, and it was also at the same time very Raimi-esque.
Yes.
And that was a little bit goofy at the same time. Like, actually worked in this case.
Yeah.
Oh man, so just such a visually cool fucking character.
And then I enjoyed the progression of like him being overcome by the souls of the damned and showing that he really is like the sorcerer supreme. You know, he went through the struggle, which I kind of didn't really get what was going on. Like, were the souls of the damned against the fact that he was dream? Like, were the dead aware that there was some transversal of the multiverse? You know what I mean? That was confusing as fuck.
Yeah,
what was actually what he was fighting against. But it's like the souls of the damned are anti-dream walking through the multiverse. I don't know. But then he overcame everything, as you know, he is one to do. And then he turns all the souls of the damned into some new cloak of the damned.
So badass.
I do have thoughts on how Wong survived. Because according to physics, he was thrown off that mountain. So his trajectory down would have only gotten him further from the facade of the mountain. He landed like he was dropped straight down onto a ledge. I would have liked to see how he got there.
Nah. I thought
that was one of those moments too.
Nah, I blame that on he's the sorcerer supreme. He has some kind of spell to like. He has those portals. He maybe made a portal, brought him closer. I don't know. And like, there's things because the only thing he doesn't have is the cloak to levitation. But I'm sure he has some spells to teleport or grip stuff. I don't know. I didn't think that was like not the biggest
shit.
And I didn't think he died anyway when he fell.
Come on.
That didn't seem like a fitting like end to Wong,
especially if he's a sorcerer supreme. Like, come on, they have to go something more epic.
But she did violate. She violated the fuck out of him. He disagreed, and he was again. I love that scene because whenever somebody's bugging the fuck out, you're hoping that there's somebody that's there to tell them, yo, what the hell, man, you're losing it. And then Wong does a great job at saying what we're all saying as the audience, like, oh my God, this bitch, you've lost your mind. Can't you see? But she's like, nope, I'll kill you too. Like, I'm just, beyond salvation. That was really cool.
I would have liked a little bit more fleshing out about the concept of Mount Wundagore. Because what was it? What they said, it was like the first demon or some shit like that, inscribed. Dude, that could have been a way like to bring in Mephisto. Like they could have like slid his name in there. You know what I mean? Like this show was created. Show where like Mount Wundagore is, because you know what I mean? Like it's apparently a powerful ass place, and the carving on the door was too little bit on the nose, in my opinion.
And also in the comic books, Mount Wundagore has to do also with like her real origin. Like she's from Mount Wundagore, like her and Pietro, something like that. I don't remember all the fucking details, but it had so I thought it'd be cool. Like I was kind of hoping like fucking Magneto was gonna appear or some shit, but nah. That would have been too much. That would have been too much.
Yeah, it was like 4 really useless demonic golems and shit.
Facts, man. All right, but then at least all this scene led to the big climatic battle, right? With Zombie Strange battling fucking Scarlet Witch with the help of Wong, and then eventually that's when like America Chavez. Also, that was like cheesy too, like with him telling her like just believe in yourself or something like that. Like you had the control all along, and she's like, you're right, and it just starts to use her powers.
I was inspired. I don't know what you're talking about.
No. I agree with Miguel. It's like she's never had control of her powers under any circumstances, and one pep talk from Doctor Strange automatically just allows her to somehow start manifesting like
a zombie Doctor Strange.
A zombie Doctor Strange, dead. Which I would have been absolutely terrified if I was America Chavez.
Yeah,
like I don't know how she wasn't like there was no part where you had to tell her it's okay, it's me. It was like, oh no, yeah, this rotten version of you.
He did say he's like, I'm the other Strange in the other Strange. He told her that, so she's like, oh, okay, so she realized it. Yeah.
I was underwhelmed by the amount of fear she felt from this version of Strange, though. Just like at first glance, I was like,
yeah, for real, though.
Like some more, and also, how did the body rot that fast, that quickly? Was half his face gone, like initially?
Damn,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a good point.
They don't really let us know how much time has passed as they're traversing the multiverse.
Fuck, that's a good point.
Probably not a lot. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and then I like though how at the end how it worked, how then America sent Scarlet Witch to that universe back again with the kid, and the kids are like, oh no, the witch, like freaking out. And like I like that. I thought that was a good way for her to see, dude, like what the fuck's wrong with you, man?
I'm not gonna front. When she dropped down to the like on her knees, like like when she got basically defeated, I shed a tear because like of the way, you know what I'm saying? Like she had to realize that she is a monster by seeing the fear in the kid's eyes. Then she started crying. Like it was well done, dude. Like that part, like I said, I shed a tear. Something about the way that she got defeated, maybe it was just like her acting that was so on point, but it was valid. I really enjoyed that. That shit got to me.
I was hoping for the Wanda of that universe with the kids to snap her out of existence, like in a nice way. You know what I mean? Like, end this bitch's misery. Like, I wanted that Wanda to kind of end here, but they leave it up in the air.
That would have been dope.
She might.
Nah. I like that it's up in the air. That because then we got like a second redemption almost right from her, like at the end, kind of realizing it. So hopefully she let's go to the Darkhold, and so I'd be curious to see her come back. Also because
for sure.
What happened with White Vision? Right at the end of WandaVision, he left, and so there's a Vision out there, and also none of these multiverse Wanda with kids had a Vision either. Like what's going on? But well,
you know what? I was thinking about where the fuck White Vision was at. Like that actually passed through my head while we've been talking. But I just forgot to mention it. And I don't know if I necessarily like the fact that the Wanda that was getting possessed also had powers because she barely used them at all. You know what I mean? They kind of made it seem like she didn't have any powers whatsoever, but then she used them.
Yeah.
That was weird. When they left her at the waypoint where the Book of Ashanti was at, she flies back up to the door, doesn't she?
Yeah.
So it's like this one had powers, but she barely used them at all. It wasn't like she was fighting back against the dream walking. It was weird. Like, was this one just super underpowered? I didn't understand that dynamic.
It was a plot device, bro. Let's just move on.
A lot of plot devices.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Right? Maybe that's an issue. I sense one too many plot devices.
Yeah, like for instance, another one that for me bothered me was like that whole thing at the end because once she has America Chavez and is starting to take her powers, and then during all that time, Strange is fighting the evil Strange, and I'm like, up until this point, they made it seem like her taking the powers of America Chavez can be done like in 2 minutes. Like Strange was about to do it at the beginning, she was about to do it again at some other point, but at the end though, it's a slow process that takes enough time for Strange to fight some other fucking Strange, do the multiversal travel, fight zombie Strange, fight the ghost specters, make the specter, and then and still I'm like, America would have been dead by that point, man. Like, by the way they made it seem like it was easy to take her powers, like, but plot device. It made for a cool scene though, for to see Zombie Strange and all that stuff. You know, it's just like, oh, okay, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Even so, you still bring up a great point. Like in that whole time that she was sucking her powers, like she got nothing out of it. Like nothing at all. Like Wanda wasn't even to make a small window in the multiverse. You know what I mean? It has to be all of it. Absolutely every single ounce. Like that was a little bit, like, yeah. But it was still a feast for the eyes overall.
All right, but that that did it, right? It brought us to the end of the movie, and then I think basically it ends. Wanda kind of collapses on the Wondergore. We don't know what happens, and then we get the, America's being trained by Wong, and then we get the cool after credit scene, right? Mid credit scene.
Super confusing.
Yeah, I know, very confusing. Where we see Charlize Theron playing Clea. For those who are fans of Strange, she is another sorceress who marries Strange at one point in the comics, and it's like this love interest for him, which fucking awesome for Benedict Cumberbatch that his love interest is gonna be Charlize Theron. Like, god damn.
Welcome to the MCU.
Yeah, it was just a little bit crazy. Like, it was just a little bit crazy. Like, I had no idea who the fuck that was. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it was very
no context.
Probably like 95% of people that saw that shit have no idea who the fuck that was. Yeah.
And actually, in the comic books right now, she's the Sorcerer Supreme in the comic books.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So we'll see.
That might be like one of the most out of context, like after credit scenes I think we've seen. Like that was like, who? What? What is happening?
Because it dropped a lot of information, right? Because she shows up like with fucking powers and like a crazy big purple suit or some shit, right? And says like, all right, Strange, there's an incursion happening. You have to come. And it's like, wait, what's happening? And then they leave. It's like, oh, okay.
Or she accuses him. She says, you caused an incursion. You gotta fix it. She slices open a hole in the fucking multiverse. Shit is going crazy. But then even before that, after credit scene, we get the end of the movie where Strange is walking down the street and he gets a third eye.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Like how casually he's getting into these like multiversal adventures. they showed 2 back-to-back scenes where he's walking casually and then boom, something crazy happens. And that's how the movie starts, right? He's casually at the party and then all hell breaks loose. He's just a living adventure. Like at any given moment, anything can happen.
When it comes to him, it just
somebody comes from the multiverse. I need you. Let's go.
Yeah, because didn't like his third eye open in the after credit scene? He was like, "Yeah, I'm ready," or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's like the last scene I think of the movie, and then the last scene, the post credits is Charlize Theron, and then the after credits is Bruce Campbell.
Right. Yeah.
He's punching himself.
Yeah, so like he's accepted the third eye now. He understands what's happening to him. I don't know, like that part just seemed. That third eye thing just seemed off for me.
And I got confused with that too. Did that mean that he's getting possessed by the Darkhold, or right or no?
Exactly. That was like what? Like I was confused.
Yeah, I guess that's up to the fans to. I mean, my theory is that he opened his third eye to the multiverse. He's gonna see behind the veil of society and
facts. All right, we'll see.
Oh, and a quick shout out because we did get that 2-second cameo by the Living Tribunal when they were jumping through the multiverses and shit. So maybe he's seeing that type of god.
Oh, we did when
forward. Yeah. When they were falling through the universes, one of the universes you saw like the spinning like a stone head. Of, like, the Living Tribunal.
Oh shit! There's so much happening, yo.
Yeah, that shit was wild.
Definitely worth a rewatch.
All right, let's rate this shit.
All right, let's rate it. All right, let's go. You guys, Rod, Chess,
let me think.
Damn,
this is.
I'm gonna go ahead and I give it a. Damn, this one was tough, man.
Were you gonna say 9?
Yeah,
not at all.
Yeah, it sounded like
you went.
Now I was thinking like either 8 or 7.5.
All right, pick one, bro.
You know what?
Pick one.
The grandeur, I'll go with the 8.
All right, 8.
The scale.
What's good, Rod?
8.5.
Ooh, damn.
Hawkeye level.
Oh, damn. Which is crazy because it should be like Hawkeye's like the Multiverse of Madness level. It's like now the Multiverse of Madness is Hawkeye.
This is crazy. Yeah, because it's crazy because like how many episodes was Hawkeye? Like 10, 8 episodes. So like,
wasn't it also short?
Yeah, not as short as Moon Knight. So let's say 8 maybe, right? So like 8 hours of Hawkeye equaled 2 hours of fucking Doctor Strange.
The multiverse of madness.
All right, so we got an 8 and 8.5. I'm gonna give it a solid 7. I'm giving it a 7. Ooh. Yeah, it was fun, but that's it. I'm actually not even dying to rewatch it. I probably maybe once one day or something. I don't know, but I'm not dying.
I hear you.
Because and it gives us a total is 7.8. Damn, so it rounds up to an 8.
About right.
It's an 8.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah, so not bad. Right. Because I'm just looking right now because the last movie that we rated movie, right? Because everything's been series so far was the Batman, and so Ches, you rated Batman higher than Multiverse of Madness.
Of course.
Yeah, me too.
It was better.
Me too. And Rod, you rated it lower.
Multiverse of Madness is better than the Batman.
I can see how you would see that, though.
I love that we're consistent, though. It makes sense. It's good, yeah.
Fucking debates out here.
Yeah, and so the Batman got an 8.1 and so 7.8 with Multiverse. So basically, both rounding up as a group, giving him an 8. All right, I can see that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Facts.
Cool.
Fucking sciencing.
Yeah, they should deliver it as an epic chapter to the MCU. Like, and it's just like nothing that happens is incredibly important because the multiverse is a weird thing, right? Because saying that there's like infinite Doctor Stranges, it would seem that it would make ours less important, right? Why not just tell a story of this other Doctor Strange and people will go watch that too,
right?
But it's like a gamble though. Like it opens things up so much that it might take away from the importance of the MCU proper. But I feel like the way that they did it here, like I'm just all in for the MCU, man. They consistently deliver quality, and I feel like this is a fucking movie theater cinematic experience that you should not miss.
Yes, no, it was very fun, especially to watch it in the theater for sure. I think watching it in the movies like that, it was epic.
And one thing that's super interesting, it's just like it all depends on the director they pick. You know what I mean? Because now we're starting to see like a consistent amount of excellence, but then we see how the directors affect the shit even in more detail because we can go back and compare certain things, which I like that a lot.
Oh yeah, because
you could again, folks.
You could totally see Sam Raimi. Like you could notice this is Sam Raimi's fucking. If you've seen like Evil Dead and fucking Spider-Man, all the Spider-Man films, especially Spider-Man 3, you know, like there's a lot of elements there, which is both good and bad, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
If you like it, you like it.
Yep. And there's a vacancy now for the Fantastic Four film franchise for the MCU. Because
gotta see how that goes.
Recent news, John Watts left. So who knows? Maybe Sam Raimi. Somebody will step in there.
Nah, not Sam Raimi. Don't give it to Sam Raimi. Let's get somebody else. Nah. I would like somebody new because I want it to be like sci-fi, like really cool sci-fi, you know? Like maybe Denis Villeneuve, like the guy who made Dune. I would love to see him do that. He did also.
That'd be wild.
He did Blade Runner 2049. So I don't know. That'd be a trip.
I just remember too, like on a closing note, fucking the fact that this awesome ass movie had like one of the top 10 opening days in history. So even though it's getting like some mixed reviews and people are saying underwhelming, the Multiverse of Madness cracked the top 10 opening days of all time.
Not all time, bro. Not all time. It's still. I think No Way Home still beats it or something like, and there are other, but it is in the top 5 or something like that. It still did very well.
Yeah, that's what I just said. I'm confused by your like rebuttal. I'm saying it's in the top 10 opening days of all time. Like,
my bad.
Of 2022 at least. It's
Nah, I read headlines that were saying all time, like one of the biggest opening days of all time. I think it's like at number 7 or some shit like that.
Okay. My bad. All right.
Go watch that shit, people.
Everybody go watch it. All right. Now, I might rewatch it, actually. Yeah, this is un poco. I'd like to see the Illuminati again. That's not bad.
Exactly, man. There's a whole lore.
And
that's not. We already did it. Let's stop. Go watch this movie.
Yeah, everybody go watch it, everybody. All right,
folks. Peace. This is Chez.
Yo, this is Miguel.
This is Rod. Peace out.
Peace.